Dobar dan kolegice i kolege, hvala vam lijepo svima na dolasku, dobrodošli ovdje na Breganu, bivši granični prijelaz. Danas obilježavamo pristupanje Hrvatske šengenskom prostoru kao i pristupanje Hrvatske europodručju.
Area and the Eurozone. The trilateral meeting between Prime Minister Plenković, Mrs. Pirc Musar, the President of Slovenia, and the President of the Commission, Mrs. von der Leyen, was just held. Mr. Plenković will now address you. I welcome all of you. I also extend a very warm welcome to President von der Leyen, President Pirc Musar, who I congratulate upon the beginning of her term in office, and this is really a great opportunity for her to join us here at Bregana and mark the beginning of Croatia's accession. And I also welcome Mrs. Šuica, Vice President of the Commission, Mrs. Tanja Fajon, Foreign Minister of Croatia, Vice Prime Minister Božinović, and Radman. If there are historical moments, special moments, which give us and provide us with great honor, and we witness the achievement of strategic goals of a state, this is such a day, the 1st of January of 2023, the day when Croatia achieved its stately, strategic and political goals of integration into the Schengen area and the Eurozone. We are the first country that has done that in the very same day. In the last 6 years plus a few months, since we have had the confidence of Croatian citizens, and since we've been at the head of the government, our time was occupied with getting ready for this accession and also fulfilling all the conditions. It was the time of very serious, sometimes difficult, foreign policy talks, and a lot happened, but we managed to attain our goals with full confidence that the Schengen area and the Eurozone will be beneficial to Croatian citizens and the Croatian economy. I'm particularly pleased that the President of the Commission has accepted my invitation to come here on Sunday, the 1st of January. She has short time with her family, but the very fact that she gave us her time, the same as the Slovenian president, I think speak volumes of the importance of this event. Nothing will ever be the same after this date. We see cars passing through unimpeded, and for Croatia as a tourist country, which is also an automobile destination to a great extent, that will mean a lot. The fact that we are joining the Eurozone is another signal to all those coming to Croatia how welcome they are, and this simplifies their selection of Croatia as a holiday venue, and selections are what we do. I would also like to thank the ministers of the Interior, of Foreign Affairs, of Finance, all members of the government, current and former, who all contributed to bringing us here into the deepest integration that we can belong to. 31 years ago, we were not internationally recognized, and in only 3 decades since the liberation of the temporarily occupied territories of Croatia, for which I now give the gratitude again to Croatian war veterans, and without their contribution we wouldn't have had a state. And since our joining the Union in 2013, and these 2 huge steps which have brought us in the group of 15 countries that belong to both Schengen and the Eurozone. And this brings us to the achievement of the goal defined by the first Croatian president, Dr. Franjo Tuđman, whose one of the program points this was Croatia's full joining of Europe. These processes are now concluded, and the delivery year actually also saw the opening of the Pelješac Bridge. This is a sovereign move, and we enjoyed the support of the European Union, 357 million euros, plus the contribution of Croatia, the participation of Slovenian architects. This is a wonderful combination indeed, and this is a year in which we endured all pressures that were the consequences of the pandemic, of the global crisis caused by the Russian aggression against Ukraine. We sought solutions for all pressures, energy, inflationary and others. I would also like to thank the Croatian police for having guarded Croatian borders, and I'm very happy that now Croatia can now dedicate its capacities to the external borders, the Schengen borders, 350 kilometers with Serbia, Bosnia and Montenegro, without any wires, wire fences or barriers. These are the political principles that we adhere to, and we are very happy that in the past year, Bosnia and Herzegovina became a candidate country, and we will not be separated by barriers or wires. We shall help Schengen get stronger. We shall help bring the euro in and make it become even more stronger. And I would like to thank the President and the Commission. I would like to thank Slovenia, former President Mr. Pahor and Prime Minister Golub, former Minister Janša. All of them contributed to Croatia's attainment of these goals. And I thank all other member states who gave us their positive vote, and I thank the European Parliament. I'm proud today. Thank you, Prime Minister Plenković. Now I give the floor to the President of the Commission, Mrs. von der Leyen.
Prime Minister, dear Andrej, Madam President, dear Nataša, first of all, Happy New Year to the two of you and to everybody here around us. I'm delighted to be with you here today. It is a day to celebrate. It is the season of new beginnings, the 1st of January. New chapters that are being opened, and there is no place in Europe where it is more true today that it is a season of new beginnings and new chapters than here at the border between Croatia and Slovenia. Today, Croatia joins the Schengen area and the Eurozone, two immense achievements for the youngest member state of the European Union, and both reached on the very same day. So indeed, this is a day for the history books. But above all, this is a day of joy and pride for the Croatian people. It is testimony of your amazing journey, your hard work, and your determination. It is a day of celebration not only for Croatians, but for all European citizens. And from now on, internal borders can be crossed freely, without controls, like here in Bregana, and all the other crossing points at land with Slovenia and Hungary, at sea with Italy, and as of March, by air with all other Schengen states. No more checks, no more passport controls, no more queues. Just people crossing smoothly, as we can see right behind us. Tourists visiting Croatia will no longer need a separate visa. They can visit with the same Schengen visa as they used to travel to all other Schengen countries. The next generation of Croatians will grow up in Schengen. People will be able to travel freely. Business will be unhindered by checks. Seamless travel will bring tangible results for people living along the border, working across the border, or having family on both sides of the border. Communities will grow closer together. And your presence here today, Madam President, clearly shows how important this day is, not just for Croatia, but also for all its neighbors. We will need to work very closely together to protect Schengen and preserve its benefits, because indeed Schengen cannot be taken for granted. Its functioning has been challenged over time, and it continues to be challenged. Schengen is about commitment and mutual trust. In Schengen, we rely on each other. And we know that we can trust you and that we can rely on Croatia. Being able to cross internal borders without controls is one important achievement. Being able to pay cross borders using the same EU currency is another one. And I know by my own personal experience that Croatians will always remember the first time they paid with euros. The first time they held the euro coin minted with your national emblem, the kuna, as a symbol of the successful union between your national identity and your European destiny. Today, you are joining a community of 347 million Europeans who are using the euro in their everyday lives. The euro makes us stronger at home. It facilitates investments and trade across borders, thus making our economy more vibrant. It helps to create jobs. It brings macroeconomic stability and credibility. And as the second most important currency globally, the euro also makes us stronger on the world stage. Indeed, the euro is one of our best collective achievements, and it is, of course, much more than a currency. It is a token of unity beyond borders and beyond languages. Dear Andrej, what an extraordinary success for the people of Croatia. I know how hard you worked for this day to come. Congratulations again. To join the euro and Schengen communities just 10 years after Croatia joined the European Union, this is a day of great pride, of great emotion, and thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this. Thank you very much.
Zahvaljujem gospođi von der Leyen. Sada ćemo
Thank you, Mrs. von der Leyen. I now invite Mrs. Pirc Musar. I also welcome all of you, Madam President, Mr. Prime Minister. I welcome all of you here, and this is indeed my first visit as the President of Croatia. This is a gift to Europe, and it's wonderful to be here with our neighbors. I would like to congratulate all Croatian citizens for having joined the Schengen area and the Eurozone. I congratulate the Croatian government. We know that this was not an easy path, an easy trajectory. Mr. Plenković, you deserve to be congratulated for these achievements, and everyone in Croatia can really be proud of this path that Croatia has traveled. Madam President of the Commission, you also were very attentive to this process, and you encourage others to join the European Union. I, as the President of Slovenia, have full faith in a united Europe. Sometimes we may see things differently, but integration is the only way for the states of Western Balkans. I'm sure that I shall continue the Slovenian tradition of assisting states in the neighborhood to join the integrations together with Prime Minister Plenković and Milanović. And I would like to say that this is also a message that Europe is our home, and I am convinced that it will stay so for a very long time. It is our obligation to defend it, to make it pleasant for living, in order for us to be equal members of the great European integration. Let us look back. We all know in Slovenia that Primož Trubar, who founded Protestantism in my country, the father of Slovenian literacy. We know of that figure, but it is not so well known that he helped a great deal to publish and print books in Croatian. In the 16th century, these books were printed in Germany. Symbolically, this is a connection between Primož Trubar, who helped print and publish books in Croatian, and he was the one who overcame borders and was led by the idea of Reformation. And we are led by the idea of united Europe, and our common history can bring us together or separate us, and we are the ones who choose which course to take. And I'm certain that history can only bring us together, bring us closer, because separation happened all too often in this area. In former Yugoslavia, I used to work in Croatia, and there wasn't this border at that time. As a president of Slovenia, I am so happy on this historical date when Croatia and Slovenia have no borders between themselves anymore, and when the border is opened, and it really gives me joy. And I am sure this means a lot, not only for the nationals of Slovenia and Croatia, but Slovenian citizens come here for holidays, over 1 million of them every year. But also it's a two-way street. Croats go to Slovenia to ski in the winter, and also work and study in my country. And I said at the very beginning that this is a great moment for Croats, but it is also a great step for Slovenia and its nationals, and for my homeland. It is a holiday for them as well. Mr. Plenković, my sincere gratitude goes to you for having invited me to be a part of this wonderful event at the border between Croatia and Slovenia. Obrežje and Bregana have become one, and I would like to visit your President, Mr. Milanović, in future, and I would like to us to draw this path further. Thank you. That is all for the media.